And we should now be live. Good evening, everybody. Just gonna double check everything's working. It would appear to be. Glorious. Hello, Corey. Hello, King Giga. Hello, Kairu. Nice to see some folks popping in, unlike Friday, where it was very quiet. Hello, Ryan of Evolution. And yeah, today I thought we would just carry on with the Norway or Norwegian or Nordic style park that I started last year, which, if you remember, is the park we are building with as little modular building as possible. So we're basically building this with the prefab stuff off the workshop. The idea being to have something relaxed and chilled alongside the Din Park, which I'm slowly building up. Henry Ford, I am not actually looking at the mods for this particular game. I ended up modding Jurassic World Evolution 2 very early on in development, within about 2 weeks of the game coming out. And I think that led to some problems, A, with getting people actually to subscribe to the channel and watch content, but also B, it sort of coloured my opinion of the game quite a bit. So for this game, I'm not going anywhere near mods for at least a year. We'll see how my opinion is at the end of this year. Apple pie or apple crumble? Apple pie, Corey. Only with ice cream, however. If you give me it with custard, I shall be sending it back to you. So, when we started last year, we built our little entrance area with these wonderful Norwegian-style buildings, which I shall be continuing to use. And we built our first sort of enclosure for some Olara Titan. There's our male king. We named him. So we built this area, and today I want to focus on this bit. So this is going to be where our first sort of semi-aquatic is going to go. And this just details sort of the outline of what I want this enclosure to be. Now, I do think I want it to be on the same level as the rest of this area here. But I'm thinking about making this area a lot taller. I don't know. Let's have a look. How has everyone's day been? Have we all had a good day? Anyone been up to anything fun with their Sunday? How far along does that? Oh, that goes quite far along. Okay, well, for the moment, let's just. Thinking I might actually have quite a lot of raised terrain up here. You're not doing as good as normal, Berenson. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's been going on? If you want to talk about it. Yeah, something like that. And then I want to make sure they have plenty of deep water here. that. I'm gonna give them like that. And I think we will give them a bit of a waterfall as well. So far, it's a good day, mostly a relaxed one, watching a few Nigel Marvin documentaries. That sounds like a good day. Corey's had a banging headache. Oh, jet lag. I haven't experienced jet lag, but I've heard all the horror stories. You're thinking of taking a break from Discord, for instance. You know, I'm a big proponent of taking regular breaks away from social media. I mean, actually, it's one of my sort of New Year's resolutions this year is to start having sort of days or at least mornings where I don't go on the computer and just spend time doing something else. I wish I could make use of this area here, because I would love to be able to put another waterfall on this side, but we'll leave it at that. What type of rock did we go with? This time we went with temperate rocks. That looks good. Hello, Basti. Hello, Rob. At the end of May 2025, I abandoned it due to mental health. It made me so irrationally angry. I'm kind of like that, Corey, when it comes to Reddit and Twitter. Twitter, I've more or less given up on these days because of just how irrationally angry I get at some of the opinions of, shall we say, certain people with certain mindsets on there. I'm sure you guys can infer what I'm referring to. Social media can indeed be a bit of a pool of negativity, yeah. Especially these days with how divided everybody is. I'm sure I don't have to mention that events over the last few days have certainly resulted in a lot of interesting social media. And no, I haven't seen Attack on Titan either. It's just not something I'm interested in. Okay, so I'm thinking like the viewing galleries and stuff we'll have up here. But I do also want to kind of do something down here for these guys. Just not sure what. Maybe we can find something interesting on the old workshop. Which is not working correctly at the moment. But what do I want? I'm thinking like some sort of viewing area. See what comes up with viewing. That's kind of cool. Let's have a look. Interesting. It's for the lagoons. Kind of interesting. Hang on, what was that? Viewing gallery with shop. Interesting. That's kind of cool. Let's have a look at that. You got 2 Point Museum. I'm glad. Like, I think 2 Point Museum is one of those underrated games of last year. We shall be playing more of it. Probably next week, actually. See if the workshop really isn't still not working correctly. That's interesting. Huh. I see my my work as the din builder is being threatened. Shall have to get back on that. I just wanted something different to have alongside the wall. But yeah. Not much here that's outrightly standing out to me. Hello, Joshua. Sorry, what King Giga has sent me a code for something. Oh no, sending that way he was sending it to Brinson. No, aggressive. We've literally just started. Although you join at a, shall we say, slightly boring time. I'm just trying to look for something interesting to have on the edge of our... There we go. And the workshop is broken. Lovely. We got one thing, didn't we? It was that, oh, what was it? It was a viewing gallery, right? This guy. I kind of like that. I think it's kind of cute. Okay, maybe, so let's do one sort of there. Let's have a look at this. Hey, that's quite nice. Oh, I like what he's done with the hang on, what? Hang on. These flags are recolorable. They are! I never knew that. Oh, that's quite cool. How has he done these flower pots? Dynamic vegetation. Oh, I see. He's learned what which dynamic vegetation types are what. I actually really like this. There's some good attention to detail. I think the only thing I would say that needs to be done is there needs to be a trim along the bottom. But apart from that, it's really quite nice. I really quite like that. I want to have a look at the inside. Not done anything with the insides, but that's fine. Yeah, I think these will make for some nice... I don't think they look too dissimilar to these sorts of structures. I think next to each other they look perfectly fine. Like if I have one of these next to this one, like it doesn't look out of place massively. So I think that's fine. I think we'll put also one there. Now, obviously, I'm just going to link them up with invisible fencing. Because obviously I'm going to have our own wall. Oh, by the way, so you know that hotel we started? It's nearly finished. I've still got some decoration work to do. I need to do the roof and some other bits. But I can quickly show you guys. If I switch to free look, so we have the... Ooh, why has that done that? We've got the waiting area, reception area with hanging plesiosaur. And then we have the wonderful pool area. Put some mosaics on the wall just to make it look a bit nicer. The Zen garden area I am especially proud of. I think this turned out really well. And the restaurant. So yeah, this is almost done. Almost. You hope Tylosaurus will be the free animal they're giving away this month. I would prefer a Margosaurus or Niger, personally. Just because I think we really need to have a small sauropod. I wonder what... That really didn't turn out correctly. Where did all the fences go that I downloaded? Oh, here we go. Right, so that is a bit much. I want something that is way too low. That's way too low. That's again a bit much. I want something that can... That's perfectly fine if you have a straight line. Oh, you know what, actually? Hang on. I think this guy. Let's delete this one. We want this one. This may take some time. Probably shouldn't have been that determined to have a curve, thinking about it. Oh well. I do wonder when we will actually get, you know, notified of that free species coming. I wonder sort of when we can expect that. I suspect probably not until the end of the month, I would suspect. That's a bit annoying. There we go. I mean, I would like there to be some different types of animal in the game. Definitely. Whether that's, you know, large crocodiles or Cenozoics, it doesn't really matter to me what one it is. I just want there to be something different. Just anything. Because the problem that this game has is that a lot of the dinosaurs, like a lot of the quote-unquote interesting dinosaurs, they're done. You know, they've got them. So now we need to start having some interesting other animals, because otherwise we're just going to end up with like 20 copies of random hadrosaur that looks basically identical to the Edmontosaurus. Like, I'm not a particular fan of having Hadrosaurus into the game, even if it's a novel animal, because it's literally just Edmontosaurus. Like, we've got to start having some unique looking animals, basically. Oh, I would love a flip option myself, Basti, as well. Sorry, I did see your comment earlier. I meant to say that, but I got distracted looking for fence type. People use the excuse that there's so many dinosaurs, but there's just one problem. A lot of them are duplicates of others. Yes, that is inherently the problem. There are so many species of dinosaur that are very similar in shape and design to ones we already have. Like, really, we ought to be having the dinosaurs that have unique distinguishing features. Or, and here's the other thing, if you are going to introduce an animal that's basically the same as one we already have, give it something unique in terms of its gameplay, you know. It's what annoys me so much about the Ostroraptor. It's basically Pyroraptor, but worse, because it can't swim in deep water. It's basically a Pyroraptor that just maybe looks a little nicer than a Pyroraptor. 38 objects for that? Hang on a minute, why is there so many objects? What have we... Why is he... Why are these? What has he done? Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. These are what? Post trims. These guys. Why hasn't he just used one of these? Why has he used... See, okay, this is what really pisses me off about people's stuff on the workshop. That it's built so inefficiently. Why has he decided to put 4 of these wooden poles in here when he could have just used one big one? The wires, I get it, that's fine. These posts, fine. Why is it easy? And again, he's put little posts in here to cover up the metal. But you could have just... And these trim pieces, again, he's used... Look, he's used 4 of these, and you could just use one big one. The thickness. Yeah, but the thickness only comes from making it bigger. Look, I can literally do exactly what he's done. Look, I can show you. All you need to do... Get one of the long bits. That's the same thickness. So all you have to do... No, doing it very roughly. Is do that. And then shrink it into the ground to get the height like he's done with the rest. So instead of using 4 pieces, you've used 1. It's so... I really hate inefficient building because really high piece counts costs you frame rate. Everything has to be built efficiently. I don't understand why he's used 4 small columns. That means that whole fence line is using more pieces than it needs to. So at some point I'm going to have to come back in here, get rid of all these bloody things, and replace them with singular poles to save on piece count. Anyway. Carrying on. Yeah, that's beach sand, is it? Okay. It's a bit much. Sorry, but inefficient building is like one of my really big bugbears when it comes to modular building games. Because it just happens because people are not lazy, but not willing to build efficiently and optimize. And it costs people performance, and that is annoying. So, I think I want to put plenty of wetland in here. I want this this enclosure to be nice and swampy. And I'm thinking maybe... not too many of these trees. Just enough to add a little bit. No cypress swamp in this enclosure. Frame rate isn't a big deal in a smooth park building. I place 7,000 rocks and 10,000 plants on my island without any problems. Well, performance is very dependent on your PC. I have seen people posting on Reddit about their frame rates dropping from 140 to 70 FPS. Half completed parks that are piece count heavy. Yeah, you know, again, part of building this park is also for me to see, you know, at what point do I start losing performance. But doing stuff like that is just not necessary. If you can use one piece, don't use four. It's just really simple, flipping, basic modular building. Like, don't use more pieces than you absolutely have to. Yeah, and console players are going to suffer from it even worse than PC players are. Yeah, I mean, I know Dino Carus was mentioned, but oh, something we do need to do. We need to do something. So obviously we need a wall at the other end. Do I have in here something that we could... Something like this would work, I think. Have it that way. And I think from here, so... That doesn't duplicate very well, does it? No, in fact, that's me who didn't have it positioned. What's going on there? He's not made that wall properly. That's what he's done. Or I haven't downloaded the right pieces. Oh no, there you go. Ah, there we go. There's the other side. I just needed to get the other side. There we go. Come on, and then a bit. I think that looks okay. Put some trees in and stuff to, you know, disguise it a bit. Obviously, I'm going to put an invisible fence in as well. Ah, of course. It doesn't allow you to place it in deep water. Actually, that should stop. They shouldn't be able to walk through that anyway, should they? So. Yeah, I mean, Dinocaris could fit in here. But Baryonyx could also fit in here, as could technically Pyroraptor. Just pondering if this needs anything else. Obviously, I think we do need some... some more rocks just to make things look a little less boring. And we'll put some trees and stuff on those, just to disguise them a bit. But yeah, let's go to the hatchery and have a look. I mean, obviously, irritator's probably what we should use. I mean, basically, Irritator is Baryonyx, but better, so... But let's decide on a male color pattern first. Let's see. The red's quite distinctive. Suko is just a bit too big for that enclosure. I'd want something bigger for the Suko. That enclosure feels too small. I mean, I know Rana is a bit bland, but I think that kind of works. And then the female, we need to look very different. So... I think that one, and... we'll give it a runner. So there's our male, there's our female. I think that's fine. Unless we go with the red for the females as well. But I'm a big proponent of definitely different colors being present, so... we'll go with those two, actually. Now we're going to want 2 sets of these. Large appetite. 1 male and 1 female. We'll go for 2 mating pairs, I think. There's quite a big enclosure. Obviously, we need to make sure they have fish. It's not in deep water. And we need to make sure they have a nest, and I'm pretty sure they use large, but we'll find that out in a sec. Yeah, Irritator is the new guy. It deserves to be in the spotlight. Hear me out, part of the enclosure up high can be for another species. Well, this I was gonna use for guest stuff. Put a plaza up here, some amenities, maybe some hotels. Did the Norwegian set actually have a hotel structure? It did not. Hey, what's this? Oh yeah, that's that one I have already looked at, which is fine. It just doesn't suit our house style. We might have to just use the chalet types up here for hotels, unless it's a large hotel.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an irritator to the park.
Irritator to the park. There's our first female. I'm guessing medium. No, it was large. It was large as suspected. Just as I suspected. This game has a really funny opinion on what is and is not a large dinosaur. I see the tree tool is still as useless as always. Nice. Metri was considered a large carnivore launch, yeah. It is a bit weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an irritator to the park. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an irritator to the park.
Just for some foliage variation. Nice. I think that's turned out alright. JWE1 scaling was weird. Yes. I started playing JWE1 from day one, so we had the supersized Ceratosaurus. We have a... Again, I'm thinking of some sort of viewing gallery that's a bit different up here. Log cabin viewing gallery. That's kind of sweet. I like that. Okay, we'll chuck another one of them in up here as well. And correct, this random piece of terrain has decided to be weird. There we go. Can we remove this tree? I think that irritator enclosure is pretty good. Henry Ford asks, what do I think will be the returning species? I'm going to go out on a limb and say Carcharodontosaurus. Simply because its rig is already present in the game. Like, Carcharodontosaurus is one of those weird carnivores that's missing from Evolution 3, but we do technically have its rig. It's just the Giga rig, essentially. So, if I'm being cynical about Frontier and how occasionally, not necessarily lazy, but time-savory they are, Carcharodontosaurus seems like an obvious bet. This is going to be a huge amount of path over here. Because this is... The plan is that, this is all more or less paved. There'll be a fence here. But more or less everything else here will be paved. There'll be some cutouts for vegetation stuff. Get rid of all this vegetation. Oh! We have the beamies!
To welcome an irritator to the park.
Missing Baron. Well, we'll wait until these guys... I want there to be at least 4 juveniles, and then we'll get rid of the nest, like we have done over here. I would hope that Karkar and Lyo do get remodels, but... At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not given remodels. Again, just because Frontier has a tendency to not do things. We were using the brick for this. Brick? No. Yes, this stuff. Why? Oh, why is it not the same color? Oh, right. How does this copy path style... That? Oh. There we go. No, I did kind of want there to be some plants in this. And once more, I'm going to have to go and find a... fence. What? Okay. Perhaps it was better to start with... Where the fence was... I suspect I'm going to have to spend some time at some point building a bunch of fences. Oh, it's not flat up here. That's... That particular fellow Didn't update his blueprint with the lighting on the top of the fence pole. Yeah, perhaps next week's modular building day. We'll just spend the time building some fence designs that I can use. Not that I like doing fences like this, because I think it's a waste of pieces again. But for the time being, until such a time that Frontier decides to give us what Kyodenic gives us. See, I don't have a problem with the Elasmosaurus design. I never have had a problem with it. People screamed about how it looked too much like a dragon, but honestly, I thought it was fine. It didn't really have that much, you know. And what did it have? A few spikes on the head. That was about it. If anything, I would say the head needed to be remodeled, but that's about it. It's not perfect, but it'll do. How are people getting up here? I'm not actually going to give them a ramp. I think what I'm going to do is see if I can find a lift building. If someone's built like a lift, a pretend elevator, I'll probably put that down here. So I don't want to just use ramps all the time. I saw... Did I not see on the workshop there were some... like, enclosure designs? Interesting. That's quite cool. What on earth? Okay then. I just want something that's like pre-constructed for something that's something like this. See how that looks. That's quite a nice little bit of enrichment there. There are some really imaginative designs in the workshop. Incidentally, I will be continuing to do my, workshop videos like I started doing last year. I think January's one, I think I might tackle viewing galleries. See if I can shortlist some really cool looking viewing galleries. Interesting. Ooh. I'll have that. We can put that outside the irritator enclosure. Up to page 10. Let's have a look at that one. That's a great elevator, but with many pieces, had to tidy it up a bit. Let's have a look at what's the code? Sorry, the code 44268K5 2TT. Oh yeah, this one. Maybe. I'll have to have a look sometime. But let's have a look at that's quite cute. It's up in the air. Hmm. That's very, very small. So I just want something that we can put some small animals in the middle. Was that the only ones I downloaded? It was indeed. This one is not straight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an irritator to the park.
Oh, that's another baby irritator. I think we're gonna go with this one. I mean, I would rather something that was a little easier to... To be honest, I don't like any of these now, all of a sudden. I think they're all a bit naff. This is then what you then end up going and having to make your own. But we are going to delete this nest. We have enough baby irritators now. Cute. Maybe I'll just stick to my classic tendency to do my own. Octagon would actually be quite big here. Yeah. make it with this stuff so I can see it properly. Yep, stop. Might actually be too small, considering how much path is going to be around it. There definitely needs to be something in the middle of this area. I just don't know what. Where was that? Where was that compy one? Maybe the compy one will be... You can always change some bits about it. Oh. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, but where's the compy one? Oh, we did install another one. Why couldn't I see that one then? Oh, I bet you it's under viewing gallery. This one. Grab that one too. Okay. Ah. Interesting. I would have to change the material of some of the building to make it suit. Whoops. I wanted to have a look inside. Do some lighting in here. Maybe. Oh no. He's another one that hasn't... He hasn't grouped it together. Alright, let's have a look at this guy. Hello, sarcastically. Ah, see, now this is nice. Again, I'll have to change the material a little bit, although it's not far off fitting in with the Norwegian stuff we've already got. I would probably just replace this black stone with some of that lightly covered stone. keep the wood. There's a few... there's a few rough edges here and there. Have a look inside. Oh, I like this. Okay, which one shall we go with? Shall we go with this one? Or this one? I personally think we'll go with this one. I think this one looks best. We'll get rid of this. Or maybe just change what's on it. And improve some of the elements. But I think this one. It looks less less like Wimbledon. Okay. Let's switch camera back to normal, thank you. Ah, this is also grouped badly. Okay. So I think we want this facing... I think I'm going to want to have the big glass side, kind of where people are going to be walking, so...
Like second look at him in 20.
It did, yes. It does. I just like how sort of pre-packed this one is. I don't mind a few, like, bits where we need to fill in the path, or fill in the gaps, because we've got plenty of stuff we can gap fill with. This has been really badly built. I love... It's like he's not grouped any of it. It's really annoying. So What part is that flipping door based on? No, I want to get rid of the door. What? Grumbly, grumbly bim, as I'm fond of saying. This right here is why I think modular building is a bad game mechanic. Because you end up, most of the time, fixing the bloody stuff people build because they haven't done it right. Okay, so the signpost is one piece. The roof is one piece so that you can open the roof to get stuff in, which is the way you're supposed to do it. What's happened here? Why is none of this grouped? Then all this piece is grouped. But then the rest of this enclosure isn't. God. Ah! No, Koji, you cannot become a dinosaur. Not in this game, anyway. Right. Now we can edit this as one group. Oh, I see. Probably wanted the roof to be a group on its own, just so it would be easier to deal with, but Would the black be okay? No, we really need to change all of this. They're all non-grid. Why are they all non-grid? Yeah, it's not too bad. It doesn't look too bad. We are going to get rid of this, though. Because we're not going to have compies in here. I refuse to have compies. Why has he wasted parts?
We had to see.
Stone. Where is stone? How did that? What? What? How did he do that then? Non-grid. Oh, he has it sticking at the back. It doesn't even fit properly in there. It's gonna bug me that it sticks out the back. It makes no sense to just have a door that goes straight in. Just get rid of that door, that's fine. Why can I not? It won't let me put a bloody chopper through there. That's why he grouped the roof as a separate bit. But the rest of it wasn't grouped. Angel says, my favorite dinosaur is Triceratops, random skin and long life. Triceratops, I think, is an underappreciated gem, I think. It's one of those animals that I don't think people appreciate. Okay. We're going to keep that as one group. So that is a group. That's fine. We're going to make the rest of this a different group. Delete the stupid door. There's no water in here.
That's the last one. That's the last one.
These bloody small enclosures have been built assuming you're not going to have food and drink needs turned on, haven't they? Oh, I hate it when people do that. What a shame. Nice building. Completely unusable for me. Just, yeah. So in that case, we'll stick to what I normally do. Definitely going to have to design some fences. Could we perhaps use... It's a bit big for a small dino, though. That's too short. Short. Not substantial looking enough. Those are way too substantial. That's way too industrial. Maybe that one? That high. That's still too low. It's to keep something in, obviously, but I think it needs to be about half as tall, I would say. Think about that height. That might be why he built it in that way. But still, I think it's a waste of piece count. Not bloody straight. To do this properly, I'm going to have to build the wall first. At least I know how long it has to be, though. Honestly, modular building adds so much messing around. Practicality is not a word I would ever use around modular building, Rob. Which reminds me, I still need to write the script for my video explaining why I absolutely categorically think modular building is a terrible game mechanic. I'm sure my comment section is going to be very stimulating for that particular video. I would like a cup of tea. Yes, I forgot to get myself one before stream too.
I know you did.
I haven't been drinking. Heaven help the Din Park when I finally get to continuing on with that, or although that'll probably be not. Well, maybe it might be next week. I need to finish off the wall sections over there first. Modular building just takes so much effort out of me personally for just playing this. I don't know how those folks who spend like hundreds of hours on their Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo parks, I don't know how they handle it, because modular building aggravates me all the time when I try and do anything with it. There's just so many little bits about it that piss me off. Honestly, I don't understand sort of the thinking process. Like how these Planet Zoo builders and Planet Coaster builders, like how they actually, like what's their thinking process when building their parks. I would love to know. Rough edges, but that one I can hide. I mean, I want one of these to be glass eventually in the first place anyway. Do I dare try and find a glass wall quickly before the end of stream? Uh, hmm. That's very tall. I hope that's not extremely tall. Hmm. So many lovely walls. None that do exactly what I want. Actually, that might just about do. Oh, actually, this one is lower than... We'll go with that one. Then I'm going to remove all of these. Ah, thank you.
Tea Lord?
Pretty much a perfect fit. I'm happy with that. Might swap out the concrete columns for wood ones, just to match the rest of the fence. Get rid of these girders, because I think the girders are a little bit much. Basically redesign the whole wall. Honestly, I might as well build my own flipping fencing before doing any more of this park. Because it's obvious I'm going to need to have some fences. Even building it simply, I need some fences. But hey, at least we got one enclosure down. You know, we found a nice viewing gallery that goes with our overall theme to stick in there. We got actually two reasonably nice viewing galleries that work well together. Got some nice irritators and some cute little babbies. They're loving the waterfalls. Careful not to get blown away by the waterfall there, little babby. Where are you off to? They're just exploring around. I think that's a nice screenshot opportunity. Maybe not. We change the weather to... It's a reasonable image. We got you one of you looking half stoned. Maybe we can take one from up here. That's not too bad. There we go. But yeah, we got a decent enclosure. But yes, I think I need to start, I need to build some fencing. So next Friday, modular building wise, we'll just be building fences. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Do like the stream, subscribe if you're new, etc, etc, all the normal YouTube stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Until then, wherever you are, hope you enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Stay safe, and goodbye.